Hey y'all. So last weekend I was well, let me put it this way. Last weekend we were driving around town and I had made this, it was probably a 10-minute video just showing Des Moines, just showing, some areas and whatnot. I'm trying to get my camera set up here. And in doing that, one thing led to another, and I started talking about a situation here at the hotel. Well, I told you guys that I would come back and tell y'all. But the problem is, you could see the video, but you couldn't hear the video, so I deleted it. So then I got to thinking a while ago when I was telling y'all, I told y'all about what I was going to talk about this week, and I haven't done it yet, but I need to do it. Well, this is it. I was sitting in the lobby over a week ago, and a girl come in with a man who kind of resembled a little bit like Sean, like his age, his beard, that kind of thing, his size. And the girl had on a spaghetti strap, white dress, sundress. And I wasn't trying to pay attention. I wasn't trying to stare or look, but I noticed that the girl had quite a bit of bruising. And when I tell you bruises, I'm talking from the time she was here till the time she left, the bruises never left her. So I hear him say, "Shut up, sit down, shut the up. Don't make me tell you again." And I'm thinking they're a couple. They weren't a couple. It was a father and a daughter. The daughter was 38 years old. She has 3 kids. And I'm just going to call her Kay. I'm not going to give her real name. And I wasn't sure what was going on at the time. But I knew he got really aggressive with her. All because she was saying, "Don't forget my medicine, don't forget my medicine." And you could tell she was rattled. And she had one cart filled with stuff. So it was hard for me to keep my mouth shut on this one. I just sat there and I just observed very quietly. The next day comes. Well, she come before the next day came. Let me go back. She came out of the elevator. "Don't go. Don't leave me. I want you to visit with me. I want to talk to you." I'm leaving. I'm gone now. Get in there. Don't you come out that door." Okay. So she went back and she was crying. So the very next day comes and I see her. And I'm looking at her out of the corner of my eye and I'm like, "God, Tammy, you got to talk to her. You have to talk to her. You may not feel comfortable, but you have to talk to her." I'm like, "No, I don't. No, I really don't." Another day went by and I seen her again. And I said, I have a question. I had went out front. I was probably making a video or something. And I had went out front and I saw her. And I said, "My name is Tammy." And she goes, "My name is..." And I said, "Nice to meet you. Can I ask you something?" I asked her. And she said, "What is that?" And she goes, "Sure." And I said, "Who bruised you? Who's done all this damage to you?" When I talk about damage, I'm not talking about a bruise here or there. Her whole body had been bruised. I've got pictures. I took pictures. Yes, she told me to. I took pictures. I'm not putting them on here, but I've got a picture of a bruise on her bigger than this, 2 of them, with like a little, like a ring probably hit it in the middle. And I said, "Well, so-and-so," I said, who's done this to you? And she said, well, you remember the man that checked me in, right? And I said, yeah. And she goes, that's my dad. And I said, oh. I said, I bet he wasn't happy. She goes, he's the one that did it. He's been doing it to me for all my life. I remind him of my mom. And so she said, look at my legs where he's put his cigars out on me and his cigarettes out on me. She had burn marks. What in the world is the state of Iowa doing here? I said, I don't care what you're doing in your life. She was pretty rattled. Anytime I talked to her, she was pretty rattled. I made sure I was down there every day for her to talk to me because I knew she needed an outlet. And every time he would come here, he would meet her off the property and he'd hit her again. But that's all she knew. Stockholm Syndrome, people. Stockholm Syndrome. It's sad. I tried to get her help. I tried to get her to call the police. She told me the very last night she was here, which was Sunday night, she said, I'm leaving tomorrow, Tammy, and I want to thank you. I really want to thank you for everything that you've, shown me and the love that you've shown me. And I had drawn her some cards to let her, to maybe inspire her that she could do this, to get away from him. At the moment, he still had her kids at his house. And I said, do you want those children to be raised like you were? No, and she just cried and cried. So I'd never ran across a Stockholm Syndrome until her. And she told me Sunday night, she said, I'm going to be leaving. She said, but I thank you, and I thank God for putting you in my life. And she said, I'm thinking about Baker acting myself so that they can see my bruises and maybe they'll do something where I'm not turning him in, just turning him in. And I said, so when the cops come out, they see all these bruises and you tell them what he's done to you, but they do nothing. And she said, no, because I look like the crazy one because I look like this. And she did. She looked a little crazy. You could tell she was beautiful at one time. He knocked all her teeth out, the top part of her teeth. They were all gone. Her eyeball had come out and was hanging down, and she had to have surgery, so she has stitches across here. When he brought her food, this is the thing. When he brought her food one day, he met her and got her and took her to Taco Bell. She asked him, Dad, why is so-and-so in the front seat? He's too little. She's too little. And when they were walking in, he hit her again on that same eye. And that whole eye was swollen when I saw her the next time. I had about 3 men here, including Sean, who wanted to go after this man. I know this man's full name. This girl gave me her name of the doctor, and I want you guys' opinion. She wanted me to call her doctor and tell her doctor, look, you don't know everything. Because no matter what you're doing and no matter what you've ever done, I get when you're young, you deserve a spanking or something like that. This is his punching bag. She's his punching bag. Y'all. Sad. So sad. And it's sad too because he's got the law convinced that it's something that it's not. But she wanted me to call her doctor and just tell the doctor, look, you don't know what's going on there. Or tell somebody in the office, you don't know what's going on there. Please investigate them. I'm praying about it. I don't know if I want to do that. I have her full name. I have his full name. So I don't know where she's at. I don't know if she Baker acted herself. I don't know anything now. But pray for Kay. That's all I can say. And that was one story that I'm going to bring to you. And there's another one later. I'll bring it to you next week. Story time with Tam. I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. I know I'm over TikTok time, which is 10 minutes. And I know all of you, I will lose you at 10 seconds. That's another thing I want to talk about.